Right then, let's just have a little chat about boxing, shall we? There's been a lot of crap said, hasn't there, lately, but Joshua Wilder, you know, who's at fault, and you know, so this is what I say, we should do as fans. Go back to the very beginning. When Joshua won the WBC international belt, he said on IFL, if you go and look, he said, I want the WBC belt, that's the best belt in boxing. His words, not mine. So he gets the WBC international belt, he gets up to number 2 in rankings. Now Povetkin's number 1 in rankings. This is for Wilder's belt. What happens? Well, what happens? He gets a dirty test done in Povetkin, so he's took out then. So Joshua should be slotted in as mandatory then. He jumps to IBF for an easier fight with Charlie Martin, which they were trying to manoeuvre months before anyway. So that already shows you that he's a coward and frightened of Wilder, doesn't it? But even if he weren't frightened of Wilder, why not fight Wilder anyway? Because the WBA, the WBC brought the compulsory VADA testing out, which is free. If you were at WBC, you tested it, you don't pay anything. It's £1,000 just for a drug test for a Commonwealth title fight. Dennis has just paid for Liam Cameron against Gemman, £1,000. WBC testing, they test you at random, it's compulsory, it's free. Joshua jumps to IBF, gets the Charlie Martin fight, who won the belt because Spilker fell over and did his knee in a vacant title belt that were a belt that was took off Tyson Fury because he couldn't rematch. He couldn't keep a mandatory because he was tied it with a rematch. This is how messed up it is. So Joshua's a paper champion. He's classed as a paper champion. But you've got Luis Ortiz in background. So Eddie signed him and he's saying, here, Eddie, why aren't you upgrading me to WBA champion? Why aren't you doing that? If Tyson's losing the belts, I'm the #1 contender, I should be upgraded to WBA champion. You did it with Scott Quigg, even just to the regular belt. Eddie says, look, Vladimir's going to fight Joshua. So what I want you to do, Luis Ortiz, I want you to step aside and let Vladimir and Joshua fight for the IBF and the WBA, because Vladimir wants the WBA, and the IBO, Ed Levine at IBO, they're just going to piggyback on anywhere. They don't even call mandatories IBO. That's just like a tag-along belt. So you've got Joshua who's got the IBF through default, who got it off, he got it off Charlie Martin, who got it off default because the guy did his knee, and the belt was vacant because of default, because of Tyson Fury couldn't have his mandatory because he was tied it with a rematch. So Mick Ennis is not to blame, is he? What a mess. So then you've got Joshua and Vladimir fighting for IBF, WBA and IBO. Oh, and the WBO as well. I think we're the WBO on the line as well. Alright? I can't remember if the WBO were on the line as well. No, I think I think Parker had that, didn't he? Parker had the WBO. I think that got split up as well, didn't it? That had got split up. Because he had all the belts, didn't he? Except the WBC Tyson. So Parker's had stinkers with Ruiz, Takam, Hughie Fury and Joshua, and then in the end Joshua's ended up with all belts. But Parker's never beat a champion, so he was a paper champion. Martin were a paper champion. That makes Joshua a paper champion. How the WBA even ended up on the line in an IBF fight with Klitschko, I don't know, but it's all a mess, isn't it? Nobody's fighting Wilder or Ortiz, most dangerous man in the division. So they left Wilder to do the dirty work, what Joshua should have done. Now my friend David Allen, when he were at Matchroom, looks like he's surplus to requirements now. When he were at Matchroom, he fought Luis Ortiz, didn't he? Why didn't Joshua fight Luis Ortiz? Luis Ortiz fought Dave Allen when he were ranked #1 on BoxRec and #1 with WBA, and he fought Malik Scott, dropped him 4 times. Why didn't Joshua fight Ortiz then? Why not? Because he's a Cuban and he's a southpaw, and we all know Joshua struggles with southpaw. He struggled with Rob Camarelli, didn't he, in a few fights that they had at amateur. Why? Why didn't Joshua want to fight Luis Ortiz? He's an old man. They're saying he's 39, but some people are saying he's 49. Joshua didn't want to fight him, but he wanted to fight Pulev, who was pushing 40. That didn't happen. And then Takam, he's another one pushing 40. That happened, and that was a terrible fight. Refs shouldn't have stopped it. Takam were coming on strong, and Joshua were getting tired. Who has Joshua iced, completely iced, knocked out cold? No one. Refs jump in. Kept jumping in every 2 minutes in Takam fight. I'm getting off track here, but and then you've got Povetkin. He's 39-year-old, and that fight's not signed yet. But how many more times can Eddie Hearn take Joshua, take Cash Machine, and rip fans off? How many more times? Why don't they just get the? Why are they coming out with stuff like the fight needs to be built up? Look, Joshua asked for 50 million. They got him his 50 million. Then he said, "Oh, I want it in UK." Then you've got to fight somebody else for $5 million first to get to him. Oh my God, Wilder's had 7 defences, he's 40-0, everybody he's fought, he's knocked out. He's had 2 wins over world champions, Stavern. He's not best, but he had a belt, didn't he? And he's beat Ortiz, who Joshua didn't want to fight. The danger man's Ortiz. Nobody wanted to fight Ortiz. He beat him. Yes, Joshua beat Vladimir Klitschko, didn't he? But come on, we're 18 months out at ring. 41-year-old in his 69th, 70th fight. Been fighting years. Got here in 1996 Olympics. Come on. Gee, let's get with program. It's unbelievable what's going on. It's unbelievable what is going on. Well, was Joshua 6-year-old when he were in the Olympics? Come on. I don't even want to talk about it after this video. I'm just going to do this video and then that's it, because it's become boring. It's become like Froch Calzaghe and Hatton Witter and Lewis Bowe and Mayweather. He didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao, did he, till he got old? And a bit like Golovkin, Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders is not going to go near Golovkin till he's about 40, is he? And Billy's about 32. Then they're probably going to get him then, aren't they? I know they say it's all about timing, but come on, don't come on internet giving it the big one and then not fighting people. It's like Bellew, British, Commonwealth, European and a world title, all vacant belts. He's had 3 pay-per-views, none of them were for a belt. Circus act, innit? This guy's Tyson Fury's just fought. Circus act. Look for Frank Warren to cash Tyson Fury in now. Forget all this multi-fight deal stuff now. They're not going to risk Tyson Fury in any fight with anybody half any good. I mean, they're saying, oh, it's going to be a long road back. Look, it's a bit longer road back than what you think. Tyson's back for a few quid. Don't be expecting fans to be putting up with 4 or 5 stinkers like other night. Tyson Fury will be thrown under a bus soon by Frank Warren to get some money in. That's what's going to be happening, I can assure you. I can really assure you. But Already from day one you're looking at problems, aren't you? They said that they were going to announce. Tyson Fury's just had a press conference, no opponent. Tyson Fury versus TBA on a Carl Frampton versus somebody Jackson undercard. Linear heavyweight champion at World, but he's on an undercard. Can you imagine Mike Tyson coming back after his break from boxing, but he's on an undercard? What's going on? It's embarrassing, isn't it? This is what happens when you let lunatics run the asylum. So Tyson Fury versus TBA. Frank said last Monday he's going to talk with Tyson and his dad, and they're going to name the opponent for Friday. Well, it's now Wednesday. So I know it's Wednesday because I've got to go to my tailor today to pick some shirts up. I might even take camera today and you can have a little chat. We can get to meet my tailor and we'll have a bit of banter about boxing while we're in there, because a lot of boxers get the stuff from there. So good tailors. Churchill's Tailors at Bowers Fall in Doncaster, next at Queen's Pub, Queen's Hotel. Celebrating 50 years, and they really looked after me, and I haven't worn one of their shirts hardly, I don't think, in an interview. I think I did that interview at Peter Fury's 50th birthday party in a hotel before I went downstairs. I think that's the only time I've worn some of their stuff. I don't even think I've worn that suit that I got from there. I'm a tracky man, aren't I? I like these Porky's corner tops. I'm a trav. I'm not somebody who looks like me, 5'10", 17 stone. I'm not going to look good in a shirt and trousers, am I? But no, getting back to Tyson Fury against TBA. Who's he going to fight? Who are they going to risk him with? What if he gets beat? So I think they're going to have a very, 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 very easy opponent again, and I think Frank's then going to look to throw him in at a Tony Bellew on Sky, and that'll show Frank up, won't it, on Sky, having to put his fighter on Sky, his main man. Or I think they'll go for a Wilder fight, and I think there'll be money in escrow and all that lot, because we all know Frank's difficult to deal with, don't we? Not everybody pays on time like Eddie Hearn, do they, or MTK and people like that, and Steve Goodwin. Not everybody is honourable in boxing. You know, you hear good reports from some people about certain management companies, and you hear horror stories, and I don't hear anything good about Frank Warren. Not with money, and I'll tell him to his face. Unless he's a changed man, of course, but let me just have a look at this other stuff on here. Have a look. What we got here? David Price interested in facing Tyson Fury. David Price against Tyson Fury. Do they think they're going to risk Tyson Fury against David Price? Eh? If Tyson Fury fights David Price, it could be good night Vienna after that performance of the night, couldn't it? I mean, I was Povetkin pay-per-view against Joshua. I don't know. So all seems a bit crazy to me. What's going on in boxing at the moment? All seems a bit crazy. Let's have a look. Beltram against Roman Andreev. Top rank wins bid. Who's bothered about that? Mayweather sued over allegations. No shows in Nigeria and Ghana. Is that for evenings with Floyd Mayweather? Who's really bothered about that? De La Hoya says Joshua Wilder must be built up for a big fight 2019. So he's probably got his tongue up Eddie Hearn's arsehole, De La Hoya. He's wanting to hurt with Eddie. Gilberto Ramirez coach surprised at how Angola fought. Oh my god. Ray Beltran versus Roman Andreev, top rank wins bid, I read that. Price wants to fight Fury. Mayweather sued. Shaka Stevenson arrested, charged with battery after brawl. He'll be another Adrian Broner, him, Shaka Stevenson. Ramirez Canelo will win his rematch against Golovkin clearly. We all know that Golovkin beat Canelo easily at first time, and he'll beat him even easier at second time, trust me. But who's going to get a decision against Canelo? Who's going to get a decision against Canelo? you know, when they're fighting outside of Kazakhstan. George Groves discusses, hey, Eubank Jr., Smithy Gale. I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, this WBSS, it's all turned into a bit of a mess, hasn't it? They can't even have finals. Andre Ward admits he's got an itch to return, then it evaporates. Morris Hooker versus Alex Sasido wins, still on pace for the fall. Who's really bothered about that? Joshua versus Povetkin, 22nd of September on Collision Course. Collision Course, what then? 39-year-old versus a 28-year-old. How's that a collision course? Main events unite with Golden Boy for Facebook Fight Nights. So that looks like Bob Arams squeezed them all out at ESPN, so they've had to go run into Facebook. Will Boxing Super Series on DAZN. Details of agreement. Looks like Eddie Hearn slipped in there, doesn't he? So maybe ITV are not happy with them. Wilder says Joshua would have accepted the 50 million if it wasn't for Eddie Hearn. Well, I believe that. I believe Joshua wants to fight me, but he's gaffer. He should put his foot down. They shouldn't be putting it on McCracken's toes. Lennox says Wilder deserves a 40% split. I don't think Lennox has said nice things about Joshua lately, and he's right, because he fought everybody Lennox, didn't he? Tom Loeffler talks Canelo, Golovkin, Saunders. Tom Loeffler should be ashamed of himself what he did to Billy Joe Saunders, but Billy should have honoured the money match, shouldn't he? But what can you do? It's boxing, isn't it? It's just a load. It's just a load. It's just a load of. It's just a load of old. Just a load of old baba, isn't it? It's a load of old baba. What am I doing? Do you know what? In a way, right? In a way, I'm glad I don't have to go up there and run about for Dennis and Russ. Check this out. Russ, check that. I'm glad I don't have to do that, because I've sent somebody a picture of them cars I've got down there in that pitch. They're all dusting, they're all a mess. I'm going to put it on here in a bit. Do you know, there's money stood there that I've neglected. You know, cars wanting wings painting, bonnet painting, MOTs, valets, tyres flat. You know, lost keys on a 59 plate Astra. I'm going to put my energies into doing what I'm good at and getting me sent back on track, instead of going out and getting pissed up, playing pool and being pissed off about boxing. Do you know, I went training with Bunny Johnson the other day, and it brought home a few good things to me about what's right in life and what's wrong, and going out and getting pissed up and partying is not good. So, do you know what I mean? I've nearly been a week without just going out and getting off my face. So I was really pissed off when I went to Bury last week, and that isn't over. I will be catching up with Mr. Matthew Bowes at some point, but just not yet. But I will catch up with him, because I've got friends in Bury and they're going to point him out to me next time he's in a pub. So he'll be easy to find next time. I'm not going to go to the man's home because he's got a family, but I can't have that. But it did my head in for a couple of days, but I'm alright now. I had a good chat with my pals, and you know, I've got an opportunity to spend some time in Hughie Fury's next camp for his next fight. I'm not going to go every day, because I don't want to make a nuisance of myself, because I'm a bit of a nuisance at times if I'm walking about. But I like to observe things. I'm very interested in the training side of the situation. I watched Peter Fury train Hughie round for round, and sometimes, you know, Peter can be very, very scary, and Peter Fury, when you're in his company and he's explaining things to his fighters, ask Savannah Marshall or Peter McDonough, and you stood leaning on ropes watching, and I always think to myself, oh God, I better not say out here. And then he'll say, what do you think to that, Russ? And I'll say, oh yeah, or... So I bet you're best off in Peter Fury's company to just stay silent, to speak when you're spoken to. So that's what I do. And he rung me up, he left me a message today, and obviously he's heard what's gone on in last week and that, and we had a good chat. And I'm welcoming in Hughie's next camp. I'm not going to go every day. My mate Frank Smith, who was a good friend of mine, at Hit Pro, HITPRO. Follow Frank, he's a lovely guy. He's Peter's closest friend, or one of them. I have a good chat with him all the time, and I'm going to go through there probably 2 or 3 times a week at Peter's gym. I'm not going to take my camera every day. I can go through there and have interviews every day if I want and make a nuisance of myself. Peter's give me access, as much access as I want. Now, when I was going to do that documentary last time, I put a tweet out saying it, and the next day Ingram from Bayloric TV went, and he stopped there a few days, didn't he? You could say he nicked my idea, but he did a good job. I watched what he did. But what he did I was going to do, so I'm not going to do that now. But I'm not going to say what I'm going to do next, because obviously I can have as much access as I want there. But I go through there, and I bet I've been through there 15 times and only took my camera 2 or 3 times. It ain't about just me going and doing it for views, because I'm not registered for views. I do it because I love boxing. People ring for a car that's for sale. I can always arrange a time and nip back. It's an hour away. Or if a car's being MOT'd or valeted, that day's free, innit? You know, but I'm always ticking over with things in my mind. The channel's going brilliantly. It's a non-profit making organisation, and tonight I've spoke to the K official people, and they haven't sold that. I'm not going to say they've sold loads of these. They haven't really sold that many of these, and they've told me how much money that they've made, and I said, well, it's no good giving that money to Josh Wales' dad's gym at the moment, because I'd be embarrassed to hand that cheque to him. Let's wait while they've sold a few more, and then they can give him it, because at the moment he probably won't be able to buy a new punch bag. So it hasn't been that much of a success, but I'm just being honest. Maybe I'm not as popular as I thought. But I was expecting to say they'd sold more, but no, it's in double figures what they've sold, but not that much more. But boxing's a very, very hard sport to get money out of. That's why people should do it for the love of the sport. Do you know what I mean? I know there's people watching this now, and they're watching it and they're thinking, they're looking at this frame here, and they're looking to think, is that a shit? This was a lot of money, let me tell you. But is that shit? Is there any muck on, any dirt, or what can we pull together? What can we slag him over? His fat belly or his teeth missing, or looking to hate? Well, look, you've got to look at it like this. I've got good people around me, good friends, and friends that people who watch boxing I'd love to knock about with. Do you know when you've got good friends, when you go out of town and you've got a flat battery and they say to you, here, take keys to my car, fetch it back in a couple of days and we'll run this, we'll get your battery charged. And I said, no, you're alright, I'll wait for RAC. That's when you've got good friends. Because we're only here for so long, aren't we? So while we're here we should make most of it. One of my friends has just got 18 years for dealing heroin this week. 18 years. Now he's 50-year-old at Christmas. He was born Christmas Eve. He's oldest in year like me. My birthday's October 19th, 1970. He's born December, but same year as me at school. So he's done a year on remand, so he's got another 8 years till his parole. So he's going to be pushing 58 if he gets parole. Now he's just had a baby. He's going to miss all that, isn't he? And he's still living in the same area as me. And he doesn't drive that much better car than me. He don't wear that much better jewellery or watch than me. You know, he's got a few birds on go, but what is it all about, that sort of life? Get out of that and get yourself something going in this life. I'm saying it to all you people out there who want to break law. Get something going in life and just cut yourself down. Go steady with your money. When you go out once a week, look, it's like a treat, innit? I can go out every night a week, but I don't enjoy it now. You have back slappers, don't you, who come out, pat your on back, tell you you're the best pool player they've ever seen. Before you know where you are, you're paying for the night out. When really, my eyes are going and my touch is terrible. My touch is terrible. I'm not good enough to get a pro card. I've already been told, like the last couple of weeks, you're not good enough to be a professional pool player, Russ. your eyes are going and your touch is not there, you won't be able to sustain it for a match for like 2 hours. So that's that, innit? Not good enough. But you can still play for enjoyment, can't you? But don't go out every single night. Why go out every night? You know, because every night's a Saturday night when you've got money in it. But when you're having to work for it, if you go out once a week, you enjoy it more, don't you? How long is that? Because these are half an hour, these, aren't they? But getting back to Hughie when he starts his camp, I'm really looking forward to going through them. I'm just going to go through a couple of days a week and that full day there and see my mates and that. I enjoy going over there. I don't think I could go to, if Hughie went to Holland or to stop over there or France. I don't think I'd be bothered about that. I don't like going to other countries. But I like Bolton. And I like the lads over there, like Asif, the kid with the beard, he's a nice kid. I like talking to Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall, she comes over as very quiet and shy, but once you get in her company, she's very, very funny. And she's a very gentle soul. But I wouldn't like to fight her down a dark alley, because I've seen her spar men and she hits like a mule. But she's a lovely, lovely, gentle soul, and I'd do anything for Savannah Marshall. If Peter rings me up and says, Russ, do me a favour, nip up to Hartlepool and drop Savannah off on Sunday for training camp for Monday, I'd be straight on that motorway up and I'd drop her off. Because it's about being a part of something, isn't it? Then you can watch and train and you can pick things up. Now, British Boxing Board of Control, they can knock me back on my licence because of my criminal record and other things. But it still don't mean to say that you can't be involved in boxing from the sidelines and cheer them on and just be part of something, does it? Doesn't mean to say that I want to be walking around with a Team Fury t-shirt on, because that ain't what I'm about. I'm my own person. I just want people to do well, and I want Hughie Fury to do really well. Now, you all see me put a video out saying that I think Hughie against Bellew is a good fight. All them people that have sent me tweets and DMs and horrible messages saying you're a Fury arse licker and you're up Peter Fury's arse and that and blah 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 because you've both done jail and all that crap. And look, me and Peter don't agree on everything, but he is a very wise man. And I think Hughie Fury against Tony Bellew was a good fight. Now, if Dillian White against Parker's pay-per-view, because the landscape's changed, Barry Hearn said. I mean, Barry Hearn sent me 4 tweets. The landscape has changed. So if Dillian against Parker's pay-per-view, why not Hughie against Bellew? Because Bellew's just been in 2 pay-per-views and won them both. Hughie's just won a British title, so why not? Why is Parker against White pay-per-view? Parker's just been beat in a fight by Joshua, and White's just beat a pub doorman, 40-year-old overweight. But yeah, that's pay-per-view. They're both Joshua victims. Now, how they're going to sell it is Dillian White knocked Parker out and Joshua couldn't knock it out, and it's a great fight. White is back. But the WBO, from what I've heard, they're not going to give him it finding eliminator status. Frank Warren's not going to have that, no matter what they do. Frank Warren is the WBO, innit? That's what it means, doesn't it? Warren Boxing Organisation. You know what I mean? But I call it the OFE WBO, Old Fish Eyes World Boxing Organisation. Because Frank Warren's eyes, he looks like a fish, doesn't he? He looks like a cod. You know when you get a cod, when you go to fish market, you look at old fish, don't you? And he looks like a cod, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Another thing I want to talk about is, let me just turn it over because it's getting near to half an hour. So I want to give it a quick press. That's the aftershave I'm going to wear next time I go out Lacoste. Just for them people that keep telling me that it's never moved on my table. I forgot what I was going on about now, but Frank Warren. Who has Frank Warren got? Who's he got? Who's Eddie got? Let's have a look at their stables. Eddie's got Oh, well, we're talking about Hughie, weren't we? Hughie against Bellew, right? Well, I think that's a good fight. Barry Hearn sent me a tweet. There were other correspondents went on behind the scenes phone calls between other people. I'm not going to go on about that, but Barry Hearn said Hughie's not ready for pay-per-view, his profile's not built up, blah de blah. Now, Hughie Fury is a British champion, right? And it looks like it's going to be Hughie and Pulev. They're going to fight for the right to fight Joshua, right? That means Hughie's going to have to go to purse bids with Pulev. So if Hughie beats Pulev, he gets Joshua, doesn't he? So Hughie's ranked 5, but provisionally he's ranked in top couple, isn't he? If Povetkin fights Joshua, that's not signed yet, but Hughie's in the mix now, isn't he? Thanks to Peter Fury's expertise, Mick Hennessy's expertise, and let's look at it like this. Let's look at Mick Hennessy, right? Mick Hennessy gets a lot of stick, doesn't he? Mick Hennessy's had Junior Whittaker, Carl Froch, Tyson Fury, Hughie Fury, Chris Eubank, James DeGale. He's had all them, hasn't he? Mick Hennessy knows a good fighter, doesn't he? Yeah, Darren Barker, he had him from debut as well. Now, whether these fighters choose to cross the road, that's their business, isn't it? But Hughie Fury and Peter Fury, they've not crossed the road, have they? They've stood by Mick Hennessy through thick and thin. And that's why I'm proud to say I'm a very close friend of Peter Fury's. Texts me every day, I text him every day. Very close friend of Peter Fury's. Plus I'm going to get the edge on most people, aren't I? Because, see that picture over there? I did a big prison sentence, didn't I? Up for a police assault. Not something I'm proud of, but a couple of people didn't go to prison. One went for a little sentence and I went for a very big one. So I'm always going to get the edge, aren't I? Because of my previous. That's how I got in with Dennis Hobson. But that's by the by. Peter Fury knows a loyal person when he sees one. Now, it took Peter Fury 2 or 3 years before I even started talking to him. Same with that strength and conditioning guy. Peter doesn't trust many people, but he's a great guy. Now, there's been people who Peter's given chances to, and they've let him down. Shame on them, that's what I say, and they know who they are. People involved in boxing, not boxers, other people. But I like what Peter Fury stands for. Peter and Mick Hennessy are like that. They're not going to split up. So all them people saying you should get people, I see tweets on here to Hughie, get rid of Mick Hennessy, go to Eddie Hearn, you'll get a title shot. Well, he had a title shot on his 23rd birthday against Parker, and it looks like he's going to be fighting for the right before his 24th birthday to be mandatory for Joshua. Now that's not bad in a year, is it? To say he's only fought Sam Sexton, beat Sam Sexton, beat Pulev, and you get Joshua. That's not a bad comeback, is it? That's not a bad team, is it? For manoeuvring. How's about that one, eh? I told everybody, but you wouldn't listen, would you? So keep watching. I don't want to sound like a fanboy or anything like that, but I'm just telling it as I see it. I see Hughie training, Jim. I see him train. Hughie's not big on smiles because you're not going to be what his dad's putting him through. Sometimes when I'm in Hughie Fury's company, I'm like, you just don't know really what to say, because he can be quite intimidating. But if you sit in Hughie's company when he's finished his session and he's having something to eat, he's quite a gentle soul. He'll sit there with his sister, Sissy, and you can talk to him and he's alright. But when he's got work to do, the last thing he needs is somebody like me in his ear all saying, here, do you reckon Ernie Shaver's had a good punch in the 70s, Hughie? Hughie don't want to hear that while he's on speedball off me, does he? So I just stay in the background and observe. I'm there to observe, because I will get my seconds licence. I won't get it off the British Boxing Board of Control, because they are shithousers, aka shithousers. I'll get it from Irish Board or Luxembourg when time's right, when I've learnt enough, because that's what I plan to do. I always plan to be in and around boxing, not taking money out of boxing, giving an opinion and just being around a team. I'll even work with Dennis again, because I still love Dennis. My kids still ask about Dennis every day, and Dennis's kids, and so does my kid's mum. Have you spoke to Dennis or not? So he sent me a video yesterday, and you know, it's still like that now, 5 weeks. We're like an old married couple, aren't we? But if you ever had any problems, you can ring me 24/7. I'm there for him, aren't I? Ask anybody. But at the moment, I can't work with Dennis with boxing. Same as I can't work with Steffi Bull at boxing, because Steffi Bull, me and him, we don't agree on everything in boxing. And I wouldn't be there 24/7 for Steffi Bull if he had any problems, but I wouldn't let him get a crack in a pub. Do you know what I mean? Because if I got cracked in a pub and he were there, he wouldn't dive in for me, but Dennis would. But that's boxing, innit? I'm not going to get on Steffi's back. He's a good boxing man. He's done well for people, hasn't he? He's done well for Josh Whale. But Mick Whale's the driving force behind that. Josh Whale's world rank now. What Josh Whale does now is going to be the biggest decision of his whole boxing career, what he's been doing since he was a little baby. Since he put them gloves on as a kid with his dad. The biggest decision of the Whale family's lives and their futures are all going to depend in this next few months. They've got big decisions to make, and I know Mick Whale personally. I love him to bits. I've got a lot of time for him, and Mick Whale, I am telling you now, will be having sleepless nights over what they're going to do next as a team. And you know, that's boxing for you, innit? But things are all opening up, aren't they now? And everything looks to me like it's all going to be rosy. Liam Cameron, Commonwealth champion, ranked 14 with IBF. Liam will get his chance. He got offered massive money to fight Martin Murray, but massive money, but he were overweight and he couldn't take the fight. Plus there's other stuff going on behind the scenes, and you can't take a fight at short notice if you're overweight. Like he couldn't take the Cartwright fight straight after he beat Genman. But Liam Cameron, he's got a right dig on him. He's a great fighter, got a fantastic trainer, Chris Smedley, another good, very close friend of mine. I've just beat him 10-4 at pool. He can't play pool though, thinks he can, but I got him on a proper table and destroyed him. But he's a nice kid and a fantastic tiler. When I move in another 4 or 5 weeks, he's going to do my kitchen and bathroom. I'm going to tile it, Chris. I'm hoping it's going to be mates rates. But boxing is all opening up now with all these TV deals, isn't it? DAZN and Facebook, and I'm hearing that Doug Gurr at Amazon's going to be involved. BBC's still not involved though, are they? What are they doing? Where are they going, BBC? Where are they going? Where is Anthony Joshua going? Let's have a look at Anthony Joshua's record. People say you're a Joshua hater, you're a Joshua hater. Well, let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you the truth here. Anthony Joshua, he got locked up, didn't he, for breaking his bail. Right? I'm not going to go into all that, but we all know what he got done for. And he did 2 weeks in jail, and he got community service. He got what's known as a combination order. He pleaded guilty to both charges. The charge he were on bail for, and the one he broke the bail for. McCracken had him back in team. They were working on him as the new Frank Bruno from the first time they got him in GB team. So he were always going to go to Matchroom. McCracken will never work with Warren, but let's have a look who he's beat. He fought Dillian White, right, when Dillian White were coming off a 2-year ban for taking an over-accountant substance. Whatever it were, it was an illegal substance, so it's Dillian White classed as a drug cheat. But in his defence, it were an over-the-counter thing, but aren't most stuff over-the-counter what you get? So he got Dillian White at the right time. Dillian got one lucky punch in and he got iced. That were pay-per-view. Who did he fight after that? Who did he fight after that? Brazil? Who did he beat? Melina? Canal, 38. Who after Melina? Vladimir, 41-year-old. Life and death. Who after Vladimir? Takam, Should have been Pulev, but he got Takam. He's 38, is he? Parker were a paper champion. Who's he got next? Povetkin, age 39, but it's not signed yet. Don't be surprised if it's Wilder fight, but I don't think they want that fight at all. They're not going to risk it. I said it ages ago, didn't it? I heard that comment that Barry Hearn said after Joshua went to fight, didn't he, when Audley Harrison got iced by Wilder. Joshua were going to Matchroom, but he were just playing the field, wasn't he, at the time for the better deal. A couple of weeks later he signed with Matchroom, but they knew, and Barry Hearn were telling people, we're going to keep you away from Wilder, because by this stage the rumour were already out about David Price. David Price iced him, didn't he? Bang! David Price iced Joshua. Joshua says he finished the training session. They put him on a running machine, didn't they, to run it off. He didn't know where they were. If David Price hits you, it's like a freight train hitting you. That's why they'll not put Tyson Fury near David Price. You're probably going to get Tyson Fury in with another, you know, another Polish guy, and somebody that's going to come over for 10 or 15 grand to Ireland, and that's what's going to happen. But boxing's getting exciting again. It's getting sexy again, isn't it? MTK have got this Box Nation deal. Looks like they're going to be using that platform now Frank's with BT. So that's all brilliant, that, isn't it? I think that's good. I'm a bit disappointed with MTK doing that. I was hoping they were going to work with Free Sports, with Dennis, but there's some sort of political thing going on with Irish media, isn't there? So that's between Dennis and all them. So I don't know where that leaves Dennis now. He's stuck with Steffi Bull, isn't he? And who's Steffi Bull got, really? Who's he got? Josh Whale, Gav McDonnell. He ain't really got any more champions, has he, other than them? He's got kids coming through, hasn't he? Anthony Tomlinson, he's good. He should do alright, but he's novice at the time, and he's a novice. Could David Allen be going back to Steffi Bull? Could he go back to Dennis after leaving Dennis? Imagine that, having to go back to Dennis after all that's gone on. Could you take me back, Dennis? Cap in hand, Dennis. I know I left you, but can I come back? I couldn't do that. I'd rather go get a job as a fireman, because David Allen wanted to be a fireman, didn't he? But that's just my opinion. Who am I? I'm just a fat guy with a camera, aren't I? Porky Russ. Somebody said, why do they call you Porky? It's because I'm skinny. Because I'm skinny, mate. I've got a six-pack. I'm skinny. I'm like a rake. Can't you tell? That's why they call me Porky, because I'm really thin. What a daft question that is, or is it banter? If it's banter, it's alright. Something else I want to talk about. I want to talk about trolls. Trolls. What time is it? What time is it? 10 past. I can't fucking see me. You know what my blind's about? On my cheap watch, somebody says, oh, that's a cheap watch that you've got there, plaggy watch. Yeah, it's a Porsche. Go on Amazon, it's a Porsche. But it's a watch, innit, at the end of the day. I remember when I used to have nothing. I had a 10 bob chain and I didn't even have a watch. But a watch is a watch, innit? Do you know what I mean? People go on about, it's got this, it's got that. So and so and so and so. It's a watch, innit? End of the day, it's a watch. You know what I mean? I drive an E-Class Merc and I've got a Porsche watch. So what? I remember when I had a Ford Sierra and not 2 pennies to scratch my arse together. People move on in life, don't they? It's not about material things, is it? It's about being right with people. If you're right with people, you'll get on. Now, this channel that I've started, Rico does editing. I'm the front man, aren't I? Honestly, it's my material. I'm fronting it. They all know it as my channel, but Rico is my partner, right? He helps me, and he's my close friend, very, very, very close friend of mine. And he's a background guy. I'm going to show you a picture of Rico, just so you know who he is. I've got. Everybody knows I'm into pictures and that, because I got involved with a picture company. That's Rico. See that? That's lead right, that's for you, Rico. When them poker t-shirts come on, I've had that frame for you. At lead right, that's Rico. People say, oh, that looks gay, that, Russ, having a picture of him, but all my pals, I've got pictures of me and all my pals all over my house. So what, I'm from art, aren't I? You know what I mean? If you get a night out with me and I get a selfie with me, I'll just ring my old company up, because they still owe me money, and I get pictures made. I mean, I've got pictures of all sorts in my house. I love a good picture. Well, I had to take pictures because I was never going to get my money back, were I? But no, this channel, what we started this channel in November, but then I sort of wasn't interested. And then this last couple of months, because there weren't really many subscribers on it, and people go, oh, you ain't got that many subscribers, and that don't bother me. As long as the right people see these videos, it don't matter to me. The subscribers, have I got the fucking vision? Have I got the focus rate on this? Let me have a look. Have a look. Is that right? Have a look. Yeah, if I've got the... Somebody says to me, hey, you've only got 600 subscribers. Yeah, but that's 100 a month, innit? 100 subscribers a month, but we only had 100 subscribers in May. It ain't about that for me, because it's a non-profit making channel. We're not like IFL or what's that one, Michelle Phelps one. Oh, them other ones, Ingram and them. Look, they're all doing it full time to make money. They're running around with cameras sticking Radio Raheem. They get sponsors to pay for them to go all over. I don't want to do that, because if I go to a show and I'm sticking my nose in against Anthony Joshua, they're not going to give me access. Other than going to say, "Phew, we remember you saying that Joshua were hiding glass." Well, you are hiding glass, Joshua. That's why you won't fight David Price. That's why David Price iced you in sparring. He iced you and you couldn't handle it. But no, I don't want to be going around every single show asking same old questions to same old people and kissing same old arseholes. I'm not a kiss arse. I will say it as I see it. If anybody's got a problem, ring me. My number is all over boxing. Ring me, and then we can talk about it, can't we? Or we can do it the other way. Put gloves on. Get at it. What's the worst thing that could happen? I could get sparked in Peter Fury's gym, or in somebody's gym, knocked out. That's it. Won't be the first time I've been knocked out, but it won't be the last. It's boxing, don't take it personal. And all you haters, there's a lot of people on Twitter now. I got asked to be one of these people years ago, right, by Eddie Earn. Right, I'm embarrassed talking about this now, actually, because there's something I could say now, and I've still got the email, but I'm not going to do it to Eddie, but he's over something else as well. But Eddie, I've saved that email, and you know what I'm on about. Look, what it is out there, is that picture good? Do I look good in this picture, or do I look... Let's have a look. Well, have I got my good side? I look good for 48. Yeah, I look good, don't I? Do I look... Hey, Dennis got me this for my birthday. He got me that one for my 47th. And he got me that one for my 46th. Kept buying me Ted Baker hats every birthday. I don't think I'll be getting one this year. I'll probably be getting a fucking crack. But no, if people don't like what I say, it's tough. But this channel's to give an opinion. It's to give an alternative opinion to what's going on out there. I'm not going to say about stuff where I've been on meetings where there's been IBF there, and you know, things that go on behind the scenes, and there's other stuff that's going on, and I'm like, fucking hell, I could never say that on here, because that would be proper. There's some things I don't agree with. I just say, I don't want to know, don't tell me. Because I'm all for the fighters. If there's a cheque for a fighter and it has to be given to him, I give him it. I won't hold it back to a week. I'm all for the fighters, right? I am all for the fighters, and I always stick up for fighters. And an easy argument for somebody like Dennis can say, well, why don't you put a show on then? Why don't you have a go if it's that easy? So it is hard, but I couldn't do the job that these lads do. They'll go to shows. You have these certain lads. You have Cougar Cassius and IFL. They've got the main access, haven't they? They've got Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, and they're playing one off the other all the time. Then they're playing Joshua off Tyson Fury, Joshua off Wilder, Dillian White, they're throwing him into the mix. Big John Fury, he's good for a 200,000-300,000, isn't he? Then when Eubanks are over and not seen, they're all over them. They befriended them after all that went off. Billy Joe Saunders, he's good for a quote. Sorry, they go around all the same old ones, and all the other small shows, they let all the up and comers go to them. Somebody like me, I'd be like an up and comer in this game, but I won't work for them. I'm my own person. Non-profit making channel. Yeah, I've had a few free shirts. Charmwood Kitchens, Terry Adams, I don't know if you've heard of him, big gangster from London. His son owns Charmwood Kitchens. Is it at Bespoke Kitchens, Marnus? He's got some free t-shirts for me. I might wear them on my videos for him. He's a good friend of mine, Marnus. I like him. He's likeable. He rings me up. Russ, come on. We're going to Tangiers for the weekend, all paid for. You don't have to pay. I said, no. I can afford to go there, but obviously I'm not in their league, you know, financially. I said, no, I don't want to. I will pay for it. I said, no, I'm not like that. If I go, I'll pay for myself, but I feel I have to earn things like that. I can't just drop everything and go and miss my kids on a weekend and just go to another country. But he's got a factory out there and they make kitchens, don't they, for footballers. And I think he's doing Anthony Joshua's kitchen, Charmwood Kitchen. So hopefully I might be doing something with them. I know I'm going to be doing something with SIS Digital. I don't know what, but it's all off this channel. Doors are opening. Through me being honest, I'm not reading off a script today. Usually we get questions and Rico says to me, don't read the people's names out who the questions are off and all that, because they might not want it read out and stuff. So I'm going to try and talk about everything and remember it in my head what people have said. But you get people who will tweet me or go on YouTube and say, oh, you're making your own questions up. I have never made one question up on my children's life. Why do I need to do that? I had my kid's mum, right, come and see me today, and I said, look at that, there were 720 questions altogether, because I'd left it for about 2 or 3 weeks. The Pokey Corner at mail.com, 720. I said, how can I go through all them? You can't, it's impossible, isn't it? So I can't go through everybody's questions, but I hope I've covered a lot of what people have asked. You know, like a lot of questions. Dave Allen's got a big following. A lot of questions were about, is Dave Allen being managed right? Nah, Dave Allen, I got drunk recently and I really hurt my face. And I was upset, and I'd not spoke to David for a couple of weeks. And I was staggering about, and I was going up near Viaduct Bridge. I was all over the place. I had loads to drink. I've been partying. I didn't know where I were. He scooped me up. I was with my dog Rocky. He scooped me up, fetched me home. So I'm indebted to him for the rest of my life, because I was wasted. I didn't know where I was going. I could have got run over. And I said my bit that night to David, and we hadn't spoke, and I just told him straight, where are you fucking going? And he just said, look, I needed money. You've got taxman to pay, you've got bills to pay. You know, Matcham, we're not ringing him all the time, are they? He's got to earn, hasn't he? But when he was with Dennis would have protected him and brought him on. They would have gone Central Area, English, British, Commonwealth, European and Wales. They would have kept finding his level, and when you got stuck on a certain level, you'd stay at that level and try and learn more, like Dennis with Clinton Woods from beginning, and Jamie McDonald from, you know, from winning. From Jamie, you know, he had Jamie from virtually novice, didn't he? You find your levels, don't you? David Allen's were like a novice fighting Luis Ortiz. Come on. How much did Eddie Hearn care about him? I know I sent Eddie some horrible text messages. I sent Eddie some nasty emails, and you know, he usually replies to me emails. Eddie, he didn't reply to me email. I sent him a very nasty email because I saw David 2 days after, and his tongue was like that. Dave Allen shouldn't have been in there with Luis Ortiz. He got smashed to bits. He shouldn't have been in there with Yoko. He got smashed to bits. He didn't get smashed to bits against Dillian Whyte though, did he? But yet Dillian Whyte's in his second pay-per-view. So how's that work? What's Dillian Whyte got on Eddie Hearn? Has he got something on him like Paul Smith had something on him? Why is Dillian Whyte getting royal carpet treatment? Has he come on all of a sudden? Or what? I don't know. I know he's got a great trainer, and I know Dillian's invested time and effort in himself at Loughborough, because he trains at Loughborough, but I don't think Dillian Whyte is that good, and I don't think he'll beat Joshua in a rematch. I don't even think he'll beat Parker. I don't think he's active enough to beat Parker. Parker's a very, very messy fight. But Dillian could stop him, and if he stopped him, God, he's got Joshua at Wembley, hasn't he? He's at the big time, hasn't he? He'll get 5 million quid for that, and Joshua will get 25. But boxing is in a very good place at the moment, and this channel what we've got, I'm happy with it. 600 people have subscribed. We've got no plans to do that patent thing like other channels where you've got to pay. I mean, I know everybody who subscribes to this, they'd all pay £1 a month. £1 a month for this channel. But I ain't got any plans to do that. I know other people keep putting things in my head, and in Rico they keep saying you should charge, and I'm like, why do I want to charge? It's just a fucking opinion. It's an opinion on boxing. Why would I want to go down that route? I couldn't even go down that route if I had 100,000 followers. That ain't what I'm about. I'm about being right with people. That's why in my personal life I have done alright for myself, because I'm quite likeable, aren't I? Even though I spent 10 years in prison over a 12 October 91 till May 04, what's that? I spent 122 months in jail in that period of time, with odd month out here and there. So over 12 and a half year, 12 years 7 months, I did 10 year 2, and then I did that 2-week dinner where we were up front page in 2015, and I did a month when I was 16, so there's 123 and a half months. So you could say 10 year 4 months since I left school. In fact, I did 1 month when I was still at school. They changed Borstal to DC, didn't they? So I've been out of jail now for 15 years next May, so that's good, isn't it, apart from that 2 week. But it's about being right with people, isn't it? This channel, what we're doing, people say, what are you trying to create? What are you getting out of it? People, what are you getting? What are you getting? What is it for me just to turn this on here and sit here? I can use a sitting car or go up to the park, but today I'm just sat on bed. Sat on bed, turn the camera on. I'll plug it in there, press a button, we transfer. It costs 144, I think it's 144 quid a year to transfer it to Rico, and he does rest. Anything libelous in it, he'll take it out. That's it. That's what we do. There's a few people involved who we're talking to, but other doors open in boxing, don't they, for you? But the main thing is, the main good thing for me is for Peter Fury today saying, yeah, because I asked him, he said, yeah, you can come round to Hughie's camp if you want to spend a bit more time round camp. I thought that's brilliant. I enjoy that, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I like everybody in that camp. I see the kid with beard, I like the American kid John Barron, I like him. I like Frank Smith, I like Savannah Marshall, Peter McDonough, I like Clifton Mitchell's son, Ty Mitchell. I love Hughie to bits, even though, you know, sometimes when I'm in Hughie Fury's company, you know, I'm a little bit, you know, because Hughie's but Hughie Fury is quite a scary guy, and sometimes when I'm in Hughie's company, I think, God, better not say up to him. Like I said earlier, because boxers, they get pulled about all over the place. I sat and I studied Hughie one day, and he was doing certain things with that guy from America, certain lifts and certain exercises, and Rico Verhoeven were over, you know, the world kickboxing champion from Holland. He's like David Beckham in Holland. Google him, Rico Verhoeven. He were over there, and he'd been sparring Hughie and working with Peter. And Hughie done that session, then Peter said, right, go do that and do this. And while Peter's on pads with Peter McDonough, then Savannah, he knows what's going on. His eyes are all over the place in that gym, Peter Fury's, and I sit and I was watching. And I watched everything that Peter Fury did, and I thought, he doesn't miss a trick. He's on the ball. But Hughie, it looked to me like he were getting pulled about all over, and some days you can be tired, can't you? You can be really tired, and you're a boxer, and you're like, you've got to do this exercise, you've got to do that exercise. Like myself, I've just started doing a bit of training myself now. I'm a big judo fan now. I did a little bit of judo years ago, not for long, and I liked it. And you use the other person's strength against them, and I want to start doing that again, but probably just doing a little bit of training. So Bunny Johnson, this guy from Sheffield, he's starting to get me in some sort of condition. He's going to have a right job though, isn't he? He says he's going to need to knock 3 stone off me, and we're going to have to work on certain parts, and it's going to take about 6 or 7 months, but I'm going to enjoy it, and he's monitoring me, and it's going great. Well, we've only had 1 session, but I've been sticking to daily stuff he's given me to do, because I can go up to my kids' mums and do a bit in their shed, can't I, in day. But it's all about being right with people, isn't it? But Hughie can get pulled about all over the place, and it must be awful. You know, you've got to get up knowing you've got to do this and got to do that, and then all week you're training. Then on a Saturday, you've got Peter taking them up to Lake Windermere, is it Lake District? Lake Windermere, I think. Lake Windermere. Right up north, is it Lake District? Lake District? Up north, innit? It's 200 odd mile. You've got Peter taking them up there, and they're doing them 8-mile runs. You've got all that to finish week off, and spewing your guts up, and you know, and I think, personally, I think that Tyson trained that long with them fights leading up to Klitschko. Did he have Chisora, Hamer, and then Klitschko? Or were it Hamer, Chisora, Klitschko? With them 3 on trot, and he never really had a break, and Peter had hold of him for all that time. And Tyson Fury were proper on the ball, they were in great shape. And I think after winning it, I think it was such a release for him that I think he climbed mountain, and I don't think there was anything there for him to climb after that. Or there was something in them last couple of rounds where Vladimir changed his style and went after him, and there was something that Tyson didn't like, and he didn't want that rematch. And I know what he was getting for that rematch, and so obviously Tyson's not money motivated. Maybe he didn't want the rematch, or maybe he just had enough of boxing, I don't know. But that Tyson Fury that beat Vladimir, he would have beat Riddick Bowe, Holyfield or Lennox Lewis on that night. On that given night. I know Lennox Lewis had power and adult moves as well. And it's a brave statement what I've said then, but I think on that night it was perfection, wasn't it? What he did, perfection. And I know that John Fury's running around telling everybody that Tyson Fury is stronger, is faster, is quicker than a speeding bullet, he's better than ever, mentally he's a happy camp and all that. Well, let's look at the situation, right? Let's look at the situation. We all saw what happened, didn't we? Serini, whatever his name is. So good they named him twice. We all saw what happened, and Frank Warren stopped the fight, didn't he, after 4 rounds. Tell Frank I said that. Frank, you stopped it after 4 rounds. You jumped out your seat and you went like that. His corner looked over and they pulled him out. He couldn't get him out. Tyson couldn't get him out. I don't think he were mentally right. I think he's still got all moves, and he was starting to put the moves on that guy, but he was getting distracted by the fight in the crowd. Maybe the occasion got to him. Mentally he wasn't on it. His dad was screaming after round 2, stop messing about, stop fucking about, excuse my English. Something wasn't right about that fight. Something wasn't right, and I think that I think it's over for him. I know that sounds pretty harsh. Gives a kiss, Porky. I still love you. I know that sounds harsh, but I just don't think that what's that fucking white thing there? Oh, it's fucking wall. It's wall. Do you want to see me pictures I've got on wall? Torres, big Liverpool fan, aren't I? Scarface, Hasif Valley there, me and Dennis, Dennis and Fraser, Razor, me, Marnus Adams, Sam Sheedy's missus, one at sponsors, me, that's that thing I've done for that copper, Scarface, Steve McQueen, big hero of mine. There's a telly that I never have on. But no, I think that I think Tyson now, I think it's all over for him now. I think it's all over, and I think it's a shame, really, isn't it? Isn't it a shame? Isn't it a shame that? Isn't it a shame that someday a Tyson Fury's talent is going to stop out at ring all that time and come back and perform like that? I think it's a shame. We could have been talking about the greatest ever kid. He might just have 3 or 4 more fights and get beat in one. You know, like Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe retired 43-1, didn't he? But he's never going to be known as the greatest ever, is he? For what he could have been, an Olympic silver medalist. And Tyson were robbed. He didn't really go to Olympics, did he? Because of politics. But I just think it's a shame that he's not with Peter. I'm not going to go into details about that because it's family stuff, but I think it's a shame when people fall out. I think it's a shame, and I think that the focus now is on Hughie Fury, 23-year-old, world amateur gold medalist, British champion, and he looks like he's going to be in a final eliminator for IBF. He's only 23-year-old. Let's get behind him. All you people saying, oh, Hughie's crap, he dances around, he doesn't have a tear up. He just knocked Sexton out in 5 rounds, didn't he? They reckon Sexton were training brilliantly in camp, so Graham Everett told me, said he had a great camp. I know that other people can say that they heard he didn't have a good camp, but British champion. Callum Johnson's British champion, and he's now fighting for IBF world title. You get that British title, you can go for a world title, can't you? It gives you a bit of kudos, doesn't it? So Callum Johnson's fighting Beterbia. Nobody's batting an eyelid. They're saying, oh, he's brave. If Hughie gets Joshua a fight, they're all going to say, oh, he didn't deserve it. You can't win either way, can you? So all you can do is just be right with people. Just be right with people in boxing. Be right with people and good things happen. Peter Fury once said to me, do you know what, Russ? Good things happen to good people. And I believe that. Never chase the money, because the money always comes if you're right with people. If you're right with people and people like you, good things happen if you try. If you go out demanding this and trying to pull fast ones, you'll always get caught. If that's your motive, if that's your ulterior motive, you will get caught. But look at that. Yeah, somebody sending me a tweet there. So people should be embarrassed sending just disgusting, horrible things like that. I get that all the time, just for having an opinion in boxing. It used to bother me now, but I don't let it bother me now. Nobody seems to knock on the door, do they? They might go down and throw a few eggs at my cars down there, but nobody knocks on the door, do they? So who really cares? You know what I mean? I thought I'd just block them. You are a fat waster, animal dog shagger. So Joe Gallagher used to get that. I get that now. I'm a dog shagger now. Well, I never used to get anybody say anything about me. All of a sudden now I'm thrust into limelight with this channel. I'm getting grief. A lot of the people who give me grief have got no subscribers, or 1 subscriber, or a couple of subscribers, you know, on that YouTube thing. So I don't tend to listen to negative stuff. If people want to say nice things about me, fair enough, but then the nice things lead to other personal questions in DMs, so I never let on anything, because I always say, give me a ring on WhatsApp or FaceTime, let's have a look at you, because nobody I know knows you. Then they just go missing. It's like that guy with the scary black man face. Did you see the picture I put on tonight? Johnny, or Mr. Jones is called or something. He looks like the son of Purple Aki. He's the scariest black man. He's not black, he's purple. Scariest black man I've ever seen in my life. And on the corner of his picture, he's got orange, you know, like an orange jumpsuit. And he says, "Oh, I'm from Sheffield, me mate." I said, "Oh, well, I'm in Sheffield in an hour. Let's meet up for a cuppa." They soon go quiet, don't they? They are trolls with no jobs, and they just want to knock people like me. Go out, go spend 1,500 quid on all equipment, go pay a couple hundred quid for downloading thing, so then you've got 1,700 quid invested, then go get your content, then show a bit of front and do your own stuff. Go buy your own tower, your own computer, and do your own videos and give an honest opinion about boxing, because that's all it is, innit? It's an honest opinion about boxing. And these 600 subscribers that have subscribed to listen to me, I love them with all my heart. I think to myself, do you know what? These people have subscribed to listen to me, and you know, half of the stuff I come out with, I say to myself sometimes, you know what you're coming out with there, but I do know my boxing because I study it, and a lot of things that happen that I say Basher's going to go in a minute on that, does come true, and I can see things happening. It's like, for example, that with Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz was got so they could get the belt without him getting it, because Luis Ortiz, when they signed him, Eddie said, "Look, you're ranked #1 with WBA. You should be upgraded. If Fury hands them belts in, you'll be upgraded." Well, they didn't, did they? He never upgraded Ortiz. He never got his fight for world title, did he? Luis Ortiz never got his WBA world title fight, did he? Vladimir got it. Whether they paid him step aside money, I don't know, but he never got it, Luis Ortiz, did he? He never got the belt. Anthony Joshua's got the IBF, the WBA, the WBO and the IBO. They're all Tyson Fury's belts, every single one of them, and he's not beat Tyson Fury. So Anthony Joshua is probably the fakest champion ever, and the 2 most dangerous heavyweights in the world apart from Joshua, because he's dangerous, Joshua, Ortiz and Wilder. And Joshua didn't fight Ortiz, did he? He went in the same stable, he was manoeuvred away from him. And Wilder fight, he hasn't fought him, has he? He asked for 50 million, they've given him it, and he's not fought him. That's boxing for you. He's a fake champion with 4 belts that he got from a guy who he didn't fight, and then he won't fight the other 2 dangerous guys. But he's earning all these millions and selling out 90,000 stadiums. Oh my God, Eddie Hearn and him are geniuses, aren't they? The geniuses. He had 4 wins at Olympics, Joshua. 3 of them were gifts. He only beat the Chinese man, didn't he? And he were no use anyway. It is the biggest con since sliced bread. You remember years ago when sliced bread, you had to pay extra for sliced bread. People in 1920s said, I'll take my own loaf on. Then they started getting it sliced, didn't they? They were charging extra. Well, it's the biggest con since sliced bread. Or biggest con since Ernest Saunders with Guinness fraud. That's just my opinion, isn't it? I like Wilder, and I think Joshua will struggle against him because he's awkward. A Tyson Fury who's fit beats them both. But a Tyson Fury inactive, his tool's not sharp. He'll get beat against both. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, and if Tyson hears this, he'll probably want to give me a backhand. But I love Tyson to bits, but I'm going to be honest. I think he's just come back for money. I think he's come back for money. They said he's stronger, quicker, faster than a speeding bullet, better than ever. Happy camper, brilliant. We saw what we saw, didn't we? And the only person who matters is Frank Warren, and he knew what he saw. And Frank Warren will be thinking, what we're going to do with Tyson now. We've got a multi-fight deal with him, what we're going to do. We're going to put him on an undercard, pay him peanuts. That's when it's all going to start going a bit sour. And they're going to be screaming for a big fight. The only big fight out there for Tyson's Bellew, innit? Because Bellew don't want a belt, he just wants money. Bellew has got British, Commonwealth, European and World. He's not bothered the vacant, he's thick-skinned. He's had Cleverly and A twice pay-per-views, and he'll have a 4th with Tyson pay-per-view. He's not bothered about belts. He's got 4 on mantelpiece and he's been in a Rocky film. He don't give a crap about that. It's just to top his pension up. He's supplying money now for his kids. That's what's happening, and I'll tell you straight. But the person who's going to derail it all is Hughie. Because if Tyson don't fight Bellew and Hughie fights him, Hughie will beat Bellew. He's got the style to beat him. He says he don't want to fight Wilder, he's too big for him, 6'7". But he'll fight Tyson, he's 6'9". Why not fight Hughie at 6'6", Tony Bellew? Listen, Tony Bellew, you'll fight anybody pay-per-view. Tony Bellew says Joshua's his best mate. They would fight pay-per-view, and don't be surprised, right, if Parker beats White, right, Parker beats White, then fights Joshua in a fight nobody wants to see, a rubber match, and Dillian White against Bellew. They start flipping tables up. Dillian White will fight Bellew within the next 12 months. Bellew will just keep fighting. He thinks he's a pay-per-view fighter now. Carl Froch brought pay-per-view back, and everybody now thinks they've got a self-entitlement, don't they, to it? Don't you listen to Nut House podcast or 7 or the New Age Podfather? These fighters today think they've got a self-entitlement to pay-per-view. And what about Kell Brook? Where's he going? He looks like he's pulling out, doesn't he? Eddie Hearn pulled the right flanker on him. Kell, fight Golovkin, I need you to. Eubank's messing me about. But you've still got your welterweight belt as insurance if you lose. They threw him under a bush, he got his face smashed in on one side, and it started to smash in on other. And Spence finished other side off once that had healed and a little bit of that had healed. And what's he got for his troubles? He's fought his old sparring partner Rabchenko in a comeback fight, and now he's fighting Captain Hook, or is it somebody called Cook? I call him Captain Hook, for peanuts, chump change, on an undercard, on Dillian White's undercard. In London, Kell Brook must be thinking, Eddie, what have I done to deserve this? I'm a pay-per-view fighter, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? And Amir Khan, and I know Amir Khan, he's sat playing it cool, he's saying £147 or no fight. Kell's saying 154, and Eddie's saying I'll work it out, Kell. Well, I'm telling everybody now, Amir Khan's going to fight him at 147, and Kell will say, oh, I'll get Greg Marriott on board. Greg Marriott will sort it. I'm going to do it 147, I'm going to beat Khan. Does it matter, Kel? 147, 154. You're cashing out anyway, but it's lost a bit of sparkle, that fight, hasn't it? But if Amir starts unloading them fast shots on Kel, he'll smash his face in, won't he? I'm not saying Kel can't punch, because I've heard stories about him sparring Carl Froch, and he was heavier than Carl Froch, and they were sparring, and he weighed more. So Kell Brook is no muck. Kell Brook's no muck. Kell Brook, I'm not going to say Ray Leonard, but he could have been Britain's Terry Norris. He could have been Terry Norris, Kell Brook. He went to Eddie Hearn and it were all going great. He won that title against Porter. After that, he fed him donkeys, Bizier, and Kevin Bizier, Jojo Dan, Frankie Gavin, and then what did he do after that? Frankie Gavin will pay-per-view, fair enough. What did he go after that? Frankie Gavin's really a light welter, isn't he? Then he threw him in with Golovkin, never the same fighter. Then he threw him in with pound for pound Errol Spence. Oh my God. They're never going to hear Errol Spence again. Could you imagine Kell Brook against Charlos? It wouldn't be pay-per-view, would it? But could you imagine them fighting? You're not going to hear them, is he? Kell's going to tread water like Amir's going to tread water, and Eddie's going to try and sort it so they fight at a reasonable weight, catch weight. But Amir will stick to his guns, because he'll want Pacquiao, won't he? Pacquiao in England's pay-per-view, isn't it? That's pay-per-view, Pacquiao. Amir's not bothered. He's multi-fly swimming in Chocha. He's a millionaire, isn't he? But it is what it isn't. It's boxing, isn't it? It's boxing. You know, it's what time is it? It's boxing, and that's what happens, isn't it? So I'm going to end this video now on thank you for all you people who subscribe. Tell all your mates about Porky's Corner. I'm not bothered if everybody unsubscribes. It don't matter to me. We're not registered to get so many subscribers to get sponsors and that. We're not registered to make money. You can check on YouTube channel. Non-profit organisation. It's just giving his opinion in boxing. But I like that boxing gossip guy. I've been watching his stuff. I like him. He's pretty honest, a bit like me, but I swear too much, don't I? I let myself down swearing too much, and I shouldn't swear as much, and shouldn't curse. I shouldn't big Carl Froch up all the time, should I? But he's got 10 wins over world champions, hasn't he? More than any other super middleweight. Carl Froch has got more wins than any other guy at super middleweight, even though Ward beat him. Ward didn't want to fight Bute, did he? Froch beat him. Ward didn't want to fight Andre Dirrell. Froch beat him, didn't he? So I can always throw that back at you people, can't I? But Ward never fought Stevenson either, did he? Didn't want to fight him, did he? But like I said, it's boxing, and it's just an opinion. Don't take it personally. It's getting late now, so I'm just going to plug this in, send it to Rico, and hopefully it'll be up tomorrow or day after. But I hope all you boxing fans have enjoyed this video. I'm hoping it's going to go out in 2 parts, in 2 1-hour parts. I hope you've enjoyed it. Get behind me. I'm not a bad lad. I've got no bad in my heart. All you haters out there, don't hate me. Just try and like me. I'm a likeable kid. You don't have to keep sending abuse and that. Do you know what I mean? If I unblock everybody this Friday, you'll all just send me more abuse again. I don't want abuse. But I'm not really bothered if you don't like me, because everything in my life's hunky-dory. I'm very happy. And I'm looking forward to seeing Peter Fury next week and plotting Hughie's camp with Frank Smith and Asif with Beard down there, and looking forward to going over there and just learning my craft a bit. I've done a little bit of everything with boxing, really, and matchmaking, MCing, advising, picking sparring partners up, taking them for blood tests, anything to do with boxing, even sweeping gym floor. I've done everything, Anna. I just love boxing, filming videos. I just love it. I just want to be a part of boxing, just play a little part, and I don't want anything in return. So how could anybody hate me? Alright, and thank you to that Lynn Marshall who keeps commenting. But I'm not, it's a long way for me to come to Wales to spend weekend with you and your partner, and I don't really know you that well, but you keep commenting, so thank you very much. And shout out to Chev Pass. I remember you now, your brother Daz or Rob, is it? He did 12 internal doors for me at my my house at Bowlby, if you remember, and he came back and varnished them all twice and billed me twice because I wanted him to varnish them once. He came back another time, but it don't matter. 15 years ago. I do remember you, Trev Pass. You're my Uncle Terry's mate. Thank you for commenting as well. And I think that's about it really. All the best, keep on trucking. Shout out to K Official, SIS Digital, Charmwood Kitchens and Ali Churchill's celebrating 50 years of clothing in Doncaster. That's where to get your suits from and shirts. Peace.